Difficult to find a good vocabulary in the same time, or in the same time also the grammar, as you know, sometimes it will not come as a past or something. It's difficult to be in the grammar good way. So this is the main thing. Yani.
I understand. Okay. Well, thank you for sharing. Oh, Ibrahim, did you say what city do you live in?
Sorry, teacher.
What city do you live in, or what region?
I don't get it, wallah.
Where are you?
1 minute, just I found some difficult in my phone. Believe the speaker. 1 minute, I will connect the headphone. Maybe it will be clear. Sorry,
Sure,
just
no
a minute. Sorry for that, because the schedule for the class, they inform me it will be in the 9 o'clock. So suddenly, before half hour, they sent to me the link. So they mentioned it is 8 o'clock. So I found him, yes, since I registered last week, they informed me 9 o'clock, not 8 o'clock in Saudi time, I mean. So they said that is our mistake. It will be in 8 o'clock in Saudi time. So for that, I'm not preparing well, yani, the headphone and everything.
Oh, okay. Sure.
So
I hope
came.
this time was good for you.
Yeah, even I try yani, to connect from my laptop better than my mobile, because now I connected the mobile. So I will inshallah log in during the session to my laptop to be clear, yani, the screen and everything.
Yeah, give it a shot.
So
take your time.
Yeah, sorry, boss. I am from Riyadh. I live in Saudi Arabia, in Riyadh, capital of Kingdom.
Of course. All right. Well, thank you for sharing. Let's go next to Sadim. Hello, Sadim. Same thing for you. Can you please tell us, where are you from? Do you have a job, or do you go to school, and why are you taking classes?
Yes, I will explain. First of all, I'm from Saudi Arabia, in Riyadh, and I'm a nursing student in the university. I want to learn English for a lot of reasons, actually. One of them, because I want to really develop myself and to be a kid, as they say.
To be what? To be a kid?
Yeah, no, egghead.
An egghead.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
And because here in Saudi Arabia, my doctors, all of them are foreigners people. Yes. So I have to talk with them in English. And all my studies, my books, my slides, my quiz, my final, all about English. So I have to develop myself more and more in English. Exactly.
Sure. Yeah.
Yes.
And you mentioned all the doctors are foreigners people.
Yes.
So we could either say foreigners or foreign people. Either one.
Yes, because people are popular. So yeah.
Yeah. What countries are they usually from?
For my own good.
Yeah.
So mashallah, Sadim, I think in hospitals, so in hospital environment, they are always talking English. Yeah. I believe you are better than me. So because my experience only in my work, during my work. So have a good luck, inshallah, Sadim, and in your English and in your work, because your work, especially in this period, you are all the time busy. You are all the time.
English. Yes.
So because the same thing happened with my wife. My wife, she's doctor. As a consultant, I consulted of the ophthalmologist. So we pray for you actually in your work, and especially in this period. Last year, you face a very difficult period. So good luck, inshallah, Sadim.
Thank you, and for you, so do you.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Okay, teacher, can I ask you what we will have in this course?
Of course. Yeah. So the class sizes are pretty small. I'm not sure how many students there are. There might be a few others, but usually the biggest I've ever had is like 5 or 6. But the groups are small, usually even like 3 or 4. And so that's why I asked you, Like, why are you taking English lessons? What are your goals? What do you want help with? It sounds like both of you want to be able to speak better. Like that's a main focus for both of you. Is that right? I know for
Yes.
Ibrahim, certainly. And Sadim,
Yes.
with you, like your courses will all be in English. So I assume like you'll want to practice like reading and just expanding vocabulary and things like
Yeah,
that
of
too.
course.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yes, the class sizes are small, and so I usually try to find out what students want to focus on, and really we can cover quite a bit of things depending on the needs of the student. Sometimes a student just wants to prepare for like a test, like the IELTS test or TOEFL. And if you look at our webpage here, you can see that there are some like test preparation classes. And I actually use some of these even if students aren't preparing for one of these tests because they're pretty good. But there are a variety of other lessons like speaking activities, reading activities, business English, and it continues from there. There are a lot of grammar lessons as well. And what I try to do is like cover different areas. For example, speaking, then grammar, then reading, and
Vocabulary. Yes.
vocabulary, things like that. And I kind of try to go around and then come back to it after a few weeks and then like continue building on that. And I find it's like a good way to um, try to not forget what we learned in the past um, and just kind of like build on your knowledge. But it all depends on your level and what you need help with specifically. So I always encourage you to ask questions, um, to ask for specific kinds of lessons if you want. Yeah, so I do expect you to help me along the way in choosing material. So I hope that makes sense. It's called. I heard this term when I was in university. It's called the spiral curriculum, where this is usually used in like primary school in different subjects like math and history and science, and you kind of like learn everything, and then next year like you learn more complicated stuff, but uh, in the same subject. So then it gets more and more complex as you keep going. So yeah, that's kind of like a general outline of what we might do. Let's get started. I'm going to choose a lesson here actually from one of the IELTS speaking classes, and it's one of my favorites just because I think it's really great to help students with speaking, and it gives you a lot of opportunities to talk. It's called Fluency and Coherence. And occasionally in this activity, they mention the IELTS test. But if you're not taking it, don't worry about it. You can just ignore what I say about that. Anyway, Ibrahim, can you please read for us, starting at the top, fluency and coherence? My red arrow.
You know,
Yes, just read for us, please.
they put headphone, so I try. It's fine. Fancy and
Coherence.
Paris. Fancy and this is 25% your speaking score. So you need to understand what my examiner is
Examiner.
looking for. Is looking for. But English flows like river. What
Yes, and Ibrahim, we can't hear everything you're saying. I think perhaps if you bring the microphone closer, I think it's only activated when you speak. Are you there?
yes.
Okay, perfect. So let's try to answer that question. Why did they use this metaphor Fluent language flows like a river.
That is continuous. Don't stop.
It's continuous. A river never stops. It's always flowing. Right. Yeah. And secondly, coherent.
Current speakers are easy to follow. Logical way.
Yeah. So coherence is basically organized speaking or writing. Well, to cohere is to connect, by the way. This is another important task. So look at this IELTS question and answer. You'll see that it's not perfect. We're actually going to fix it after Sadim reads for us. So Sadim, can you start at the top?
Yes, I will start. Describe a day when you want to outside your city. Read the next aloud. Then read it again and make it more fluent. I went to the sea, and I went to the sea, to the beach 2 weeks ago. My brother and I, we wanted to go inside to go swimming. It was very, really hot.
Good. A lot of students ask, what do the 3 dots mean? This just means that the person stopped for a moment because they were thinking.
Yes, get it, yes.
All right, but you can probably tell this is not fluent, so let's help the student. Let's edit it so it sounds fluent, so it flows like a river, like they say. What should I write
Yes,
here
I
instead?
get it, yeah.
Either one of you. Maybe Sadim, since you read it. Any ideas? How can we make this more fluent?
Give you what, teacher, Michael?
Well, let's fix this. There are some mistakes here. There are some repetitions.
Some mistakes?
Yeah.
I went to the sea, to the beach 2 weeks. Maybe I went to the sea.
I went to the sea, okay. I think either one of them, it doesn't matter.
My brother and I, we wanted to go inside and go swimming. And maybe okay, I didn't see any mistakes, so I'm just trying to have a mistake in this paragraph. To the
So I
beach.
went to the sea. What should I, just tell me what I should write basically, without all these pauses and hesitations, without
Yes.
without repeating. What should we say?
Maybe also we wanted to go inside.
Yeah. Well, since we're fixing the speaking, let's fix every single word. And so I went to the sea. Like I said, we could either say the sea or the beach. It doesn't matter. Now what? After the sea, what should I write? And Ibrahim, if you have any ideas, let us know, please.
I say I went to the sea, to the beach ago.
Well, I'll help with the first sentence. I went to the sea 2 weeks ago. So, period. That's it. I took away I took away those pauses. This speaker wasn't sure if they should say the sea or the beach. It doesn't matter. You can say either one of them. Let's continue. My brother.
My brother and I. Also, teacher, it was very And then he writes really, really, really hot. It's not
Okay,
very, really, it's not
yeah.
together. Yes.
But let's not skip the second sentence. My brother and I wanted, right?
Wanted.
Yeah,
Wanted. Yes.
we don't have to say we. My brother and I wanted to.
Yeah. To go inside. But
we don't need it
we're
inside.
talking about the sea. So
Yeah.
we're going inside the sea. I don't think that's true. I don't
Yeah,
think
we don't say that. Actually, don't say inside the sea. We wanted to go in the water, maybe.
in the water. Yeah. Yeah.
Let's just say wanted to go swimming. My brother and I wanted to go swimming, period. That's it.
Yes, I want to go swimming.
And the last sentence, it was?
It was very hot. Not very, really, really.
That's right.
Yeah.
We could just say it was very hot or it was really hot. It doesn't matter. We can
No
also
one better.
Yeah, and now it's fluent. So all
See,
together,
2 weeks ago, swimming was very hot.
yeah. So I went to the sea 2 weeks ago. My brother and I wanted to go swimming. It was very hot. The only thing I might add here is I might write, my brother and I wanted to go swimming because it was, it sounds like it was, they said really, really, really. So I would use a word like extremely, which is much better.
Yes. Yeah.
To go swimming because it was
Extremely hot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now it looks good. Okay. Next slide. Speaking without hesitation. Talk about this word hesitation at the top. What does that mean?
Hesitation.
What does it mean to hesitate? Let's use the verb form. This means like to stop because you are unsure.
Yeah, stop during the talk.
That's right. Whenever we see those three.
You hesitate.
Mhm.
Hesitate. Hesitation. Isn't it? Hesitate.
Yeah, hesitation is the noun form, and hesitate is the verb form.
Yeah. Yeah. But the same meaning.
Oh, of course. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Get it.
Yeah. We could say, I hesitated before I jumped into the water because I was scared. And I stopped for a second. But we can hesitate when we're speaking.
Always, I am always hesitation.
You're always hesitating.
Hesitated.
Hesitating. Because it's a verb, right?
Yeah, I hesitate.
Ibrahim is always hesitating.
But if I need to talk about myself, so I hesitated.
I am always hesitating.
With ing.
Yeah, with ing.
Hesitate. Hesitating.
Yeah. All right, Ibrahim. So can you please read us the question and the answer down below?
What did you do on your last birthday? My birthday was really fun this year. My brother said that we would go to a restaurant nicely and restaurant something local table and band started play some music. people around schoolmates started to come current party for just
All right, so Ibrahim, I want to let you know that every couple of seconds, your microphone cuts, and we can't hear you very frequently. And since we're practicing speaking, I think it will be important to maybe change your microphone or your headset. There's something that is
I agree.
interrupting.
Maybe
Yeah.
he have a problem in her mic. I
Let
think.
me repeat again. Now it's fine. I remove the headphone.
Okay, okay. Yeah, now it sounds fine. Now it's clear. No
Now it's
interruptions.
fine. Okay. So if you want, I can repeat.
You could if you want. I did hear most of it. It sounded good.
Okay.
Let's get to the question. Why does this text sound fluent? Start with the first one. Why is it fluent? What are the characteristics of the answer that make it fluent?
Because I think all the graph, it is continuous. There is nothing is stop or nothing
Yeah, it's continuous. Okay.
continuous in the graph.
Yeah, the grammar is correct. There's no repeating. Remember the previous one? It said like really, 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 or like we, right? A lot of it repeated on the previous page. This does not have repetition. The grammar is okay. It tells a clear story that's easy to understand. So that makes it fluent. Yes. The second question, are there any hesitations?
Don't think so. They are hesitation.
I think last two line.
Yeah. There are 3 dots here, but I don't think these are hesitations. They're pauses, actually, rather than hesitations. And yeah, and we see this on the next page. These are like natural pauses that when you speak Arabic, you're of course fluent in Arabic, but you probably pause occasionally when you speak, and that's perfectly fine. And so here we see the answer again. It's the same thing as on the previous page. Let's try to answer this difficult question at the bottom. Why does this fluent speaker pause at certain places? Let's start with the first one. I'm going to read it again. And I want you to think, why did they pause here? What's the reason? When we entered the restaurant, something looked different. There weren't any tables in the room.
So they make space to يعني find what's the difference in the restaurant.
Okay, maybe they're thinking about the difference.
So like question, like give you some time to think what is the difference.
They're thinking about the listeners.
Yes.
Yeah, perhaps. Also, I think this was a dramatic moment or an important moment in the story because the person realized that there was a surprise party, right? And this is, yeah, so it's an important moment, and I also think it emphasizes, yeah, that they were surprised. You know what I mean when I say emphasize? Emphasize is like basically to show that something is important.
To focus, maybe.
Something is important.
To focus, sort of, yes, almost. Yeah, focus is pretty good. It's an okay synonym. Yeah, it's like to highlight. Sure, we might underline something to emphasize in writing, or we might make it bold or dark. If a teacher wants to emphasize something to their students, they might repeat it twice.
To keep all
Okay,
of
it's
them.
not meaning focus on something.
Sort of. Yeah, I don't know if that's the best synonym.
Usually
Stress. Oh, to
Not
stress is a good synonym, actually.
stress, yeah.
To keep the listeners it is ready and they are not go away.
Keep them ready.
I means to be to understand to make sure the listener with you.
Yeah, to make sure the listener is with you.
And some attention, give him some attention or something.
Intention, yeah.
To draw their attention to something, yes. Here they give us some synonyms. However, I think stress is the best one. But okay, accentuate isn't bad, the first one. To highlight is a good synonym.
Like highlight is fine.
Highlight, accentuate, and to stress.
Highlight is
Okay. Well, let's read the next one, and I want you to tell me why did they pause here? Then a band started to play some music, and all my friends, well, around 20 of my schoolmates, started to come in. Why did they hesitate twice here?
Because they have started to play music.
Is that a reason to pause? Look at the content. All my friends, well, around 20 of my schoolmates started to come in. It kind of interrupts it. My
Yes.
friends started to come in. They say, well, 20 of my schoolmates instead of all my friends.
Yes. Yeah.
I think this is a correction. I think the speaker wanted to be more accurate, and instead of saying all my friends, they more accurately said they were my schoolmates. Not all of them were my friends.
So this is that a mistake?
I think maybe they misspoke. That's my guess. They didn't want to say my friends. Actually, it was 20 schoolmates, not friends.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
Looks like
they are different.
there's a difference here between my friends and my schoolmates.
so that means يعني not all the friends. Let's say it is they have more than 20
Yes.
party. Not only 20 for friend they start to come, right?
Well, it wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't only her friends. It was probably friends and schoolmates. So I think they're just speaking more accurately here and fixing a little mistake. And read this last one. It was just incredible.
Incredible.
Why did she pause here?
Maybe was. We can say it's just incredible.
It was,
Or if it has happened in the past, we say it was just incredible. We can say it was incredible without just.
we could say it without just. That's right.
Yeah.
They paused here. My guess is maybe they were trying to think of a good word instead of saying something simple like nice or good. Maybe she stopped to think for a moment. What is a better word than nice and good? Oh, incredible.
A better word?
A better word. Yes, like a more accurate
Like-
word.
Like amazing, Anyone.
Amazing, terrific.
great.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
Yeah, a lot of vocabulary.
exactly. Just like on the previous page, instead of saying very hot or really, really, really hot, we could say extremely hot or, boiling hot, something like that. Burning hot. So let's read through this page. Here they say the do's and don'ts of fluent speech. So read the sentence on the right side and then tell us, is this true or false? Should we do this or not? And Sadim, let's start with you, the first one.
Yes. Speak as quickly as possible. So we put
Yes or no? Is this true or false?
speak as quickly as possible. Let me think about it. Speak as quickly. I think it's not true.
Yeah, I agree. It's not.
Yeah, it's not true.
The
It's
speaker
false.
does not have to speak as quickly as possible. That's not our goal here.
Yeah.
So Ibrahim, the second one, please.
Speak at a normal pace, but with a few hesitation.
Hesitations.
Sorry. Speak at a normal pace, but with a few hesitation. No.
Actually, true. This one's true. So you do not have to speak as quickly as possible, but just at a normal pace, a medium pace. You can hesitate sometimes, as we saw on the previous page. There are natural pauses that you probably use even in your native language, different reasons.
There is chance for a hesitation, right?
It's okay to pause sometimes. You might hesitate if you're trying to think of a better word. You can hesitate, or you can pause if you need to fix a little mistake that you made. You can pause if you're giving emphasis because something important is going to happen. Sadim, the third one.
Yes, repeat word or phrases. Repeat words or phrases. That's true. I don't think that's false.
No, this one is no. You should
A
not
false?
repeat words. Yes, just like
Right.
well, like we
Really.
like yes, like on the first one, my brother and I, we right. That's a
Yeah.
repetition, and it's not necessary. Or I went to the sea, to the beach. That's unnecessary too. You can just choose the sea or the beach. Or
Yeah.
really, really, really hot.
Get it. Yeah.
Yeah. So you should not repeat things if possible. Ibrahim, the next one. Pause occasionally. Go ahead, Ibrahim. Are you there? Did we lose you?
Yes, I'm here, but
Oh, okay.
occasionally. I think true. Same.
Yeah, to give emphasis. That's right.
Same
Like-
second.
Like what the student says on the previous page. When I walked into the room, something was different. There weren't any tables in the room. That's perfectly fine. And Sadim, the last one.
Yes. If you use the wrong word, correct it immediately. If you use the wrong word, correct it immediately. So, fault.
True. You should, if you make a mistake, it's okay to correct yourself.
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
get it.
So let's practice with these questions. There are 3 questions down below. What did you do last weekend? Do you prefer reading or playing video games? And if you could travel anywhere in the world, which country would you choose? So I would like you to choose one of these. It doesn't matter which one. Give us an answer just to practice fluent speech. As they say at the top, 4 or 5 full sentences. So give some start. Usually the way I organize answers like this, I might start with a general sentence and then speak more specifically. For example, I could answer like number 2. Do you prefer reading or playing video games? I might start with something general, like I prefer reading. And then I'll give my reasons for why. I prefer to read. I was an English major in university, and I'm used to reading a lot of books. I like to learn about a variety of topics, so books and magazine articles are perfect for me. Also, I work a lot on the computer, and so I don't like to stare at a screen for a really long time. Something like that, right? Ibrahim, let's start with you. Can you choose one of these questions?
If you could travel anywhere, which country would you choose? Actually, during the past 2 years, for sure I want to travel because we need to take a rest after a full year continuous work, to stay in home, stay in country at least. So for sure after this period, take a rest, take a vacation, good in next year for the refreshment. So
I'd like you to use would in your answer because they're asking you, where is this? Which country would you choose? Like here
yes.
you're using your imagination, and so if you could go anywhere, where would you go? You'd say I would.
I would to start with. I would
And then
go to island, in an island like Mauritius, because I always like the quiet place, a busy city or a capital of city. So I like the island to يعني travel it to travel for it to take my rest there.
okay. So I would go to an island like Malaysia because I always like quiet places. I live in a busy city, right? So I need a break from that sometimes. I forget what did your last sentence say?
And to be ready for next year.
This will help me be ready for next year. So we could say a vacation like this will help me for next year. Okay. Good. Good. Yeah. So Ibrahim, it sounds like sometimes you want to say a lot of things, but I recommend just just keep nice short sentences. I think this will help you. Your sentences don't have to be super long. Just have nice controlled sentences. In the next part of the lesson, actually, we'll learn about connecting words that will help you organize yourself. Do your best to stay like nice and controlled and organized. Do that. Short sentences.
But because this is my actually main problem I have. يعني can understand very good the sentence you write it now. It
Sure.
is always good and should be like this. But if I need to speak, it's not coming with me like
Mm, mm.
here.
Yeah, it doesn't come to you naturally.
It's not coming with me. It is easy. I would like I can go to like Malaysian because I always like quiet place in a busy city, so I need break from that sometimes. A vacation like this will help be ready for next year.
Yeah, help me. I forgot that.
Yeah,
Will help.
that should be help me to be ready, right?
Yeah, help me to be ready. That was my mistake. Yeah. So something like this, I think that would be fluent and that, you know. And Sadim, same to you. Can
Yeah.
you choose one of these questions?
What did you do last weekend? Actually, a lot of things. One of them, I studied because my quiz, and also I'm bookworm, so I read book.
And also what? Oh, I'm a bookworm.
Yeah, I'm a bookworm.
Go ahead. So
Yeah, I'm a bookworm. So I read a book and watching a movie because I give myself a gift because all the week I was exhausted and tired and stressed, a lot of things, tired, a lot of things like that. So I give myself like a gift. So
Sure.
I watch a movie with my friend and go to the cinema, okay, and go to the shopping. I went to the shopping, not go because it happened in the past. Yeah. What else? I think about all of it. This is my
and that's all of it.
yeah. It is all.
Yeah, and that's actually enough. Let's take a look here. I did my best to write everything as you said it, although it's quite hard. Let's look at your
Yeah.
first sentence. Actually, a lot of things. Let's make this a complete sentence, actually. Instead of actually a lot of things, we could say,
Yeah.
actually, I did a lot of things. Now it's a complete sentence. Did.
Yeah,
We
great.
always need that subject and verb. So I did.
I did a lot of things.
Yeah. One of the. So here, actually, we'll learn this in the next section as well, in the coherence section. If you make a list, then we should use words like first of all, second of all, or firstly,
Yeah.
secondly, thirdly, finally. Let's say firstly.
Firstly, yeah. Or first of all.
Sure, exactly. It doesn't, yeah. First of all, I studied because
For
my
my
quiz.
quiz. Or we can
Because
say for my quiz. Or
that
my
sounds
quiz.
better.
Yeah. That sounds better.
Second of all,
Also.
or also, yeah, that's fine too. That's another good connecting word. Also, I am a bookworm. So I read
A book.
a book. Lastly, I had a very busy week. So I was exhausted. I was exhausted and decided to give myself a gift by watching a movie.
A movie with my friend.
With my friend. Yeah. Yeah, this last sentence is a bit long, and as you know, I recommend shorter sentences, but that's fine as long as the grammar is okay. It's not a problem.
Yes, much better. Yeah.
So actually, Sadim, can you read the whole thing from the beginning, actually?
Yes, actually, I did a lot of things. First of all, I studied for my quiz. Also, I'm a bookworm, so I read a book. Lastly, I had a very busy week, so I was exhausted and decided to give myself a gift by watching a movie with my friend.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
Also something okay.
Did something else come to mind?
No.
Okay. So speaking coherently. This next section has a lot of useful tips, I think. One of them will be connecting words like first, second, third, finally, or also, or therefore, words like that. Anyway, let's start right here. Ibrahim, can you again read us the question and the answer?
Describe a book that you have read recently. This book starts with people in the actually they are on a train. Later they go to there is lighting. Teacher told us to read this book. Write about it. The people start to play football. The weather is really bad. This book last month.
Yeah. So how would you change this text to make it more logical?
How would you change this text to okay.
What's the problem here? Did either of you notice? There are a few things here. Why does the person say, and there is lightning, but then after 2 sentences, they talk about the weather again?
Yeah, I'm trying to read it again without this mistake actually, this word. Because sometimes really talking about the weather and sometime back to so try to remove that one from.
We can remove it, or we can simply move it to another part. That's the problem here. These sentences are out of order. They're out of order. Like I said on the previous page, I recommend that you start with like general statements. Right?
Okay.
So you might start with like, my teacher told us, like a little introduction about my teacher told us to read it and like last month. And then all the other sentences are about the plot of the book. Something like that. So the problem here is the order. What we must do here is take these sentences and put them in the right order. And so, Sadim, I want to start with you.
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
should be the first sentence? What should be number 1?
Should be the first sentence. Okay, I will read it all and then I will decide. Okay. And this book starts with people in a park. Well, actually, they are On the train, no, not this. My teacher told us read this book. The weather is no. I read this book last month. Okay, something about the book, right? Related to the book.
Well, yeah,
So,
what should
yeah.
be on there? What do you think?
I think okay, I think my teacher told us to read this book and write about it.
I agree. I think that should be number 1. Good. That's nice. We talked about the reason why you read it. And Ibrahim, what about number 2?
This book starts with people in a book.
That's okay. However, let's not forget number 7. I read this book last month. Before we start to talk about the plot of the book, we should end with this like general statement. Like these first 2 sentences introduce it, and then we can finally go into the plot. So number 1 will be number 3.
So, Sir Michael, the last, I don't know, but if I put I read this book last month in the last, like a summary.
You could. You could, although I think it would be better to put this up front, just because like you start generally speaking, like why you read it, when you read it, and then like all the rest is about the word order, the order of the plot in the book. So I think like those 2 sentences just serve as an introduction. It's not really long enough to need a conclusion, but you might say something like, after I have finished it, I can say that this book was great, something like that.
I can say, Mr. Michael, I need to talk about, for example, my weekend, like what Sadim, she talked about it now. After they bought she said all the activity during weekend, the end of the sentence that she can say, this is my activity during weekend. Yeah, something is related our previous sentence.
Yeah, you might want to use a little conclusion if you feel it's necessary. Sure. And that's all I did, or that's why my weekend was really great, something like that.
Something like that, yes.
Yeah,
Sure.
get it.
All right, well, let's continue with this word order, and I want to ask Sadim, what should be number 4?
Number 4. Okay, let me read number 3. This book starts well, people in the park. And there is no, there is nothing. Okay, I think the people start to play football.
Not yet. Yeah.
Not yet? Okay. Okay, maybe. Well, actually, they are on the train, but last year
Later.
they go to the park. Yeah.
That's right. So the reader or the speaker realizes that they made a mistake and they correct it right here.
Yeah.
And Ibrahim, what should be number 5?
the people start to play football.
Yeah, I agree. But later they go to the park, the people start to play football. Okay. And Sadim, number 6.
The weather is really bad.
Sure.
Yeah.
And there is lightning.
The last
That's-
one, and there's
That's an
lightning.
addition. Mhm,
Yeah.
mhm. Exactly. Okay. Well, that's it. That's it. This activity has a few more slides, but we will save that for our next class. I guess before we finish, are there any questions about anything?
No, I don't have any questions.
Nothing from
It was a great class, really. Thank
Yeah, it
you.
was great. It was wonderful meeting you, and I look forward to our future classes together. Does everybody know when our next class is?
next class.
What?
It will be inshallah Wednesday, right?
Wednesday at 8 p.m.
Yes, me too. Wednesday.
8
Yeah.
p.m.
Exactly.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you very much, Teacher Michael.
Thank
Good
you.
started, alhamdulillah, this session. So inshallah will be continuous to be inshallah better.
Yes. Yes.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for your concern, Teacher Michael. And
Right.
nice to meet you.
Very nice meeting you. Have a wonderful night, everybody.
Have
Good
a
night.
great
Swear I won't forget this, why do I regret this? In my mind reckless, thoughts are feeling endless. Sitting up, I'm breathless, anxiety's infectious. I feel so defenseless, betrayed and embarrassed.